Greetings. Welcome to Into the Light. My name is Donald Schmid, and the topic of today's show is Trust God Always. Sometimes life happens and we don't understand why. People get sick, people die, relationships break up. We don't understand. We had a part to play in it. We don't know what's going on. But God, I believe God knows everything. And today I'm going to share several scriptures with you and several stories that go with the scriptures. And I, I've been allowed to share my experience, my strength, and my hope with you because we're on a journey. And sometimes the road is narrow and things get difficult and we don't understand why. And the verse that I want to read from the English Standard Bible is Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will make your paths straight." And that verse has worked in my life for many years. I was online and I don't know, I think I was on a Christian site, and I met a few women from Africa. And one of the women was from Durban, South Africa. And we became friends and we had similar interests. And she was into taking care of orphans, and she found one kid in an alley, and she would take them to the hospital. She had a tremendous heart, and sometimes the kids wouldn't live, and she just had God had given her such tremendous compassion to help others. And I had the opportunity to sponsor a little boy in Liberia in I'm not sure when it was. It might have been 98 or 99. And he looked like he was gonna turn out to be something, and he was gonna be good. And God had told me, I heard a voice that said, "You're gonna go to Africa." And I started looking to try to find ways to go to Africa. And there was this group called Youth with a Mission. I looked into that, and I wanted to go, and I think I kind of wanted to try to help God. And I kind of think that that was a bad idea because it's like 23 years later and I still haven't gone. I still haven't gone to Africa. My friend wanted me to come, and she said I could stay at a pastor's house, like if I got a note from my pastor with like a third party validation. And we lost contact with each other for maybe 7 or 8 years. And then I got a job in Manhattan, and I was working downtown in Manhattan, down the block from Wall Street. And there was this guy, and I told him my story. I met this woman from Africa. He says, "Oh, my family's from Johannesburg. Where is she from?" I said, "She's from Durban, also known as Amatwazadi, which is the name that they use for sweet water." And they had a Durban Convention Center there. And, I wanted to go, but it hasn't happened yet. So this guy says to me, I can help you find her. And I says, "Oh, that would be great." And he looks up the white pages, and in the white pages in Africa, they only have the first initial and the last name. So you don't know if it's a man or a woman. So like stalk is like don't stalk the woman. And we came up with five names. And I wrote the numbers down and I got a international calling card. And my birthday was June 7th and her birthday was June 5th. So I mustered up enough courage on June 6th, which was directly between our birthdays, and I made the call. I said, God, the number, there was five numbers, and I said, God, please let me get this on the first time because I don't want to, feel like I'm rejected, I'm bothering somebody, because it's across the world, in Africa, and I was a little nervous. So I said, please let me get this on the first shot. So the phone rings, and in Africa, it sounds like a bird. It goes like, and a woman picks up the phone, and I said, "Hi, I'm looking for," and she said, "This is she," and I said, "It's Donnie." She said, "Donnie, what happened to you?" And God kept His promise that He let me. You know, sometimes when if somebody would tell me my story, I would tell them that there's no way all that stuff happened to you and you're still smiling. But what happens is when something happens in my life, I get to tell a story. And when I go on adventures around the world, I get to share my hope. And my hope is an acronym. The H is for honestly, the O is for offering, the P is for personal, and the is for experiences. So I'm sharing my experiences. Not all have been good and not all have been bad, but they've been real. And we stayed in touch, and we still stay in touch, and we're friends, to this day. And I send her, like copies of Into the Light and everything, and she says, well, like, what's keeping you from going? And there's so much like political unrest in Africa, and and especially with the pandemic and with the lockdown. I I want to go, but I want to make sure that the Holy Spirit goes with me. Because I don't need any surprises when I get to Africa because if you travel alone, you're a target like at the airport. So you need somebody from Africa to meet you at the airport who can not only give you a ride, but sort of like, tell you what to do and what not to do, because there's a big culture shock going to Africa. And recently, I met people online from parts of Africa, and um, all of them aren't the same. Some people they make it like they're your friend, but then all of a sudden something changes in the relationship, and it turns out that something's not quite right. There's a verse in Isaiah 41:10. It says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold you up with my righteous right hand." And that means a lot to me. That God will be with me. If He tells me I I say to God on a daily basis, please show me where to go and please tell me what to say. And I mentioned that the church had moved from Wall Street to Broadway. And there was one entrance on Broadway, and there was one entrance on Trinity Place. And it was Thanksgiving. And I was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I was really excited that I had 4 days off. And I'm not sure, I was on a train and I heard a voice that said, go to work. And I said, dude, I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not going to work. And the voice was like relentless, like it always is. It's not a menacing voice. It's like, it's kind of like it's an impression. It's not like Donald, this is God. It's hearing in my own voice, but it's not something that I would normally do. Like I relished the 4 days off. And for me to hear, go to work, I knew it wasn't me that was telling me to go to work because I don't go back, till Monday. And it's not going away. So I get off the train. I go to the luncheonette and I get coffee for the doorman. I got the key to get in. I go upstairs. I unlock the door. I was working on a newsletter, so I figured I'd work on a newsletter. So I'm sitting there minding my own business, not knowing why I'm there. And the voice says, the phone is going to ring. I said, dude, I'm not even here. The phone's not going to ring. It's Thanksgiving. Everybody's getting ready to have turkey, watch the parade, go out. The voice says, again, the phone is going to ring. Pick it up. It's like, the phone's not going to ring. I'm not here, and I'm supposed to be off. So a few minutes later, I don't have to, I'm like, my laugh gives away like the punchlines, So the phone rings. I says, good morning, happy Thanksgiving. I give the greeting. How can I help you? And at that time, I was in charge of a food distribution service that supplied quality food to the neighborhoods. And I was the host site director for the Tribeca area, and once a month they would place their orders and everything. And I said to her, listen, this is amazing. Not only did God tell me to go to work, pick up the phone, and I laughed at him, he told her to call me because he knew I was there. So if you're willing and obedient, it says in the word, you'll eat the good of the land. So you get rewarded for listening to God, and you may not understand it. When I heard voices for many years, and they weren't good voices, so I took her order and everything, and it was, I did a little work on the newsletter, and then I left. And that's one of my Thanksgiving stories. And I had another one where it was Thanksgiving, and I lived in Ozone Park, and I spent a lot of time going from the South Shore to the North Shore to the South Shore, and I had to be to work at 11 o'clock. I worked on the not quite the Upper East Side, and I wanted turkey. And I was like on a mission, like, must have turkey. And I left the house at 8:30, 8 or 8:30, and I wound up on the R train on Queens Boulevard, go downstairs, I'm ready for work, and there's a woman, she's reading the Bible, and I'm on a turkey mission. And I says, happy Thanksgiving, and we start talking, and she knew a few people that I knew, and, and I told her I start work at 11, and, I didn't tell her I was on a turkey mission, and she said to me, Donald, have you had dinner yet? And I said, no. And she pulled out a plate, and it had turkey, stuffing, cornbread, and something else. I don't know if it had gravy, but God knew I was on a mission. I was willing to go to a restaurant if there were any open and eat in a restaurant. And this woman gave me a card, and the next year she called me to see if I was okay for Thanksgiving. So sometimes we, it's like this is, it's like a still small voice. There's one of the verses says like, this is the way, walk ye in it. And the path is like a narrow path, because everybody's on the road to nowhere. And they're on that road to nowhere, and they don't even know they're not going anywhere because they don't have any passion, they don't have any purpose, they don't have any dreams, they don't have any promises from God because they don't know Him. His word says, I know the thoughts and plans I have for you, plans for hope and a future. So I took that, and I ran with that like for a long time. And now I actually believe it. I believe that He took my heart out and He put His heart in. And He gave me His mercy, His grace, His kindness, His compassion. And I go forward just looking to do the next right thing and to see who I can help. And we're in difficult times with the pandemic and everything, and change isn't change until something changes. I had to change my attitude. I had to change my outlook. I was depressed. I was miserable. I was hopeless. I was fearful. I was selfish. I was self-centered. I didn't care about anyone or anything. And then God changed my heart, and I believe that I'm blessed to be a blessing. I want to read that verse, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, from another version. It's called the Passion Translation, and it's an updated version. And the words, it's a wordier version, but I believe that God can use any version of His word to get people's attention and let them know. It says, wisdom's guidance. Trust in the Lord completely and do not rely on your own opinions. With all your heart, rely on Him to guide you, and He will lead you in every decision you make. Verse 6, become intimate with Him in whatever you do, and He will lead you wherever you go. Don't think for a moment that you know it all. And I was a member of the I Know Club. There was a song that goes, "Ain't no sunshine when she's gone." And I know, I know, I know, I know. I don't know anything, you know. And I just, I let go and I let God, and you know, show me where to go and tell me what to say. And I'm in a studio, and I don't make it. I don't have to make anything up because everything I went through actually happened, you know. And it's different. It's a good different. I just wanna. I want what He wants for me, and I don't want to add. I don't want to add to anything, and I don't want to subtract to anything. And I, my journey started. My journey started many years ago. Maybe 25 years ago. My dad got sick in '94, and he died in December of '94. And my journey started in 1995. You know, I was a mess. I would go to the track. I would go play pinball, not pinball machines, but slot machines in the bodegas. I would lose my shirt, and money was just like, it was like paper. It didn't have any value, you know. And today, helping people across the world, the money goes a lot further. And I'm I watch how I spend my money. Like, I like to call myself Donnie Deals because I don't mind coupons, and I'm always looking for how to save money. I went shopping today, and it was like $88, and I saved 31. You know, and that means a lot to me because it was like I go to the window, say like, give me the 4, give me 20 on the 5, you know, and it was like paper, and the there was no, it wasn't really a transaction. It was an addiction, you know. And I was addicted. I was addicted to more. You know, I wanted more. You know, more in me, and it's not like that. You know, I get to make a difference. You know, and I just wanna. I'm not here to depress anybody, or I'm not here to impress anybody. But there's a verse here. It says, Romans 8:14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, these are sons of God. So Jesus came and He died for us so that we could live. If you don't know, if you don't know Jesus as your Lord and Savior today, it's really easy. It's in Romans 10, verses 9 and 10. It says, He who believes in his heart and says that Jesus is Lord will be saved. And that's Romans verses 9 and 10. Let me see if I can get it. So I do the word justice. And I didn't know anything about the Bible. You know, I knew it was a book, and that's all I knew. You know, I didn't know the scriptures, the verses. I had to look it up in a table of contents. You know, if you don't have a Bible, there's an amplified Bible that is easier to read. And here's the verse from Romans 10, from verse 8. But what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. And I did that, and I did it. I did it in a church in July of '95. It was 112 degrees, and I was active in addiction, and I was walking to get Chinese food, and I looked down, and it said healing service at St. John's Lutheran Church on Myrtle Avenue, right off of Woodhaven Boulevard. And I went, and I sat in that church, and it was hot, and I waited, and I listened, and I didn't believe in God. I didn't trust God, because when I was a kid, my grandmother died when I was 12, and my best friend died when I was 13, and my new best friend died when I was 16. So I had a problem getting close to people, because every time I got close to them, they died. I was angry at God. I didn't know, I'll show you where to go, I'll tell you what to say. I picked up this flyer, and I was hungry, but I didn't know what I was hungry for. And I went to this service, and there was maybe 30 people, and they did an altar call, and you go up and you pray for people. I went up, I was second in line, and I remember what the guy said. He said, "My sheep know my voice, and the voice of another they will not follow." And I took that to heart. I made that verse mine. My life was awful. I went up. There was three of them. One of them was in front of me, one was inside of me, one of them was in back to catch me. And I fell down in the spirit, and I had seen people fall down. And I thought, like, either they got pushed or they got $100 to make it look good, like on TV. But the spirit just fell on me, and I was laying on the ground, and I was feeling foolish, but something came over me, and I felt like everything was going to be okay. I just didn't know when it was going to be okay. And I went back to my pew, and I went to work. I said, Jesus met me in the church and everything, and like, oh, 1 minute he's like an alcoholic, and and now he found Jesus, and they didn't want to hear it. And if you're there, give yourself a chance. Just, my email is donald.schmid54@gmail.com. Just give me a shout out. Get in touch with me. I believe God blessed me to be a blessing. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Into the Light. God bless you all.